Hey guys, welcome back. Today we should have done this a long time ago actually, but we're officially announcing our new podcast. I'm here with Zach Flowers, Peyton Reed. Um, for our friends who are going to be watching this episode, because y'all are going to be the ones for word of mouth, thank you. Today we've tried to go through the names and we have announced that this is going to be called the Honey Wagon. I almost forgot it in my head while I was saying it, but it's going to be called the Honey Wagon Podcast. If you want to know what that is, just look it up. You can go enjoy the Google search for
No, don't look
yourself.
it up. Nobody's going to tell you.
Okay, never mind.
You shouldn't know.
So, this is going to be all just pop culture, sports, anything that we want to talk about, we're going to talk about it here. That's basically what it is, right? Just talking shop with the guys, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I'm your host, one third of your hosts, Walker Lott. I already gave these guys names. I'll start it off very quickly. How you been? How's in different parts of the state and even a different state? How's it going? Zach?
We're surviving. It's a little warmer than it has been lately, which is nice.
It's warmer. It's warmer
We're doing all
recently.
right out here in Mississippi.
You you back home?
I am. It's we've had a lot of road trips going on, but we're home. We're not
No
sleeping
longer
in the office.
no
So,
longer sleeping in the office.
We're not at the hotels. We're here.
so during Snowmageddon, you lost power. Like how was it like
Oh yeah.
how was it adapting and surviving? Like you said, you just had to live in your whatever
Well,
office.
it was one of those things. 2 years ago, we had something similar happen, and it was just not the same thing because it was like really the ice last time was the big thing, but this
Right.
time it was like we lost power. Trees were exploding. I didn't know that was a thing
Yep.
until like the week before. So like I'm very glad that I knew about it before I went to sleep, and then at 3 a.m. started hearing pops just behind my apartment because that I feel like that would be really scary if I didn't know what that was. So. We survived. I made some like chicken Alfredo, a lot of
Mm.
it to prepare because I knew that okay, maybe something weird would happen. The issue, it was just I was eating it all cold. It's not the same,
Right.
but yeah, we made it. Lost power for probably like 4 or 5 days. Had to watch the AFC Championship on my phone, which that game really deserved to be watched on a phone. Um,
True.
and I had to sleep in the office for 2 days, and then immediately had to go to some basketball games, but now we're back, a little more relaxed than we have been.
Life in the athletic game, right? Just you're always on the
Yeah.
road. And speaking of the athletic game, this is the off season, but you're about to, start back up pretty soon, right, Peyton? How's life over with the Riders and just life in general, man?
Man, we're getting ready. We're getting ready for some baseball. So we just got back after Snowmageddon 2. And we've been kind of hitting the ground running. Our season starts early April, but we've got a college baseball tournament here in about 3 weeks.
Nice.
So that's kind of like our preseason is kickoff is there. And then yeah, we're just kind of booking it to the start and then booking it to the finish line. But looking forward to it. We're expecting to have Sebastian Walcott back in Frisco, so that'll be a lot of fun. I don't know what the rest of our team is going to look like, but as long as we got the Rangers number one prospect, we're feeling really really good.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Um, I don't think I think I grew up when going to a couple Riders games. I wish I went to more recently in my lifetime. I need to go.
Come
Um,
on up, I got you. I got free tickets for you whenever you want to make
Yeah,
it.
I've been to one in my life, one Riders game in my
True,
life, and
true.
I think it was
Perfect.
a good one.
There you go. In my life, just started a new job, still doing TXPS. Life's good. Back in College Station, which is weird because I'm not a student anymore, but I'm still around all the students because I live here. It's very weird now. But anyways, that's not what y'all want to hear, right? You want to hear our three guys
I don't think they
talking.
want to hear anything. I
They
don't think
really
anything we
don't,
say is
honestly.
worth
But
anything.
but anyways, we're here. We're gonna talk about a few things, and the thing we're gonna start off every episode is what have you been watching recently, and that's kind of gonna be the main thing we're doing. So I'll start us off. Just to start us off, is the most thing I've watched recently is Iron Lung. I went and saw it in theaters, the Markiplier movie, and that was really the reason I went and watched it. Was I was like, okay, it's Markiplier. I never really watched them growing up, but it was like it's Markiplier, right? I gotta go support them. And so from technically fellow YouTuber to YouTuber, I had to go see it. And it was not bad, right? It's there's a lot of hype around it because it's all this independent of owned and distributed, and you're like, how does this even get to be a thing? And it honestly outgrew Send Help, which was crazy. The big movie I think done by Disney or in that pipeline,
Sam
right?
Raimi. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're kind of like, how is this a thing? And it was supposedly like to get it in theaters because it was going to be like in 50 theaters, and now it's in over 4,000. Was because his audience from YouTube would call their local theater and was like, put this in my theater, please, so I can go see it. And I guess that distributed like around the country, and that's where it is today. And it's the only movie that's made like profit of like $10 million so far in the first 2 months of the year, which is insane for all independent stuff, all that. The movie itself the concept is really cool. It's based off a video game. The sound design is actually pretty well done. It's shot well. You can definitely tell it's like an indie movie, if that makes sense, right? When you're watching it, it's like it could be a little bit better, just like not as like it just if more money was into it, you could see that it could be better. But the actual premise of it is really, really cool, really well done. Markiplier doesn't seem like a YouTuber in it, and actually is like an actor, which is kind of cool. And I found that was pretty cool. Troy Baker, the all-time GOAT, and voice acting is in it, which is pretty cool. Over and Jacksepticeye is in it. Anyways, it was pretty cool. I'm glad I went and saw it. I think I gave it like a three. What I gave it, 3.5 on Letterbox, which probably is like an actual three. But for me, I was like, you know what? I walked out of there being like, the last ending of that was a little funky, but like I enjoyed my time and it was a good like horror movie at the end of the day. So, go, would you recommend it? Absolutely. Go see it in theaters when it still is. So, Zach, going to you, man. What have you seen recently?
All right. So I don't want to be that guy who brings up multiple things, but I'm probably going to bring up multiple things because
I'm gonna
so
do
the
it
big
too.
one, uh, we'll save the big one for a sec. So the last thing I watched was The Rip. Was the Netflix movie with Matt Damon and
Yes,
Ben Affleck.
yes, yeah,
Fun movie.
yeah.
I enjoyed it. There's a
Mm-hmm.
twist in it that I probably should have
Right.
seen, but for the
Yeah.
longest time in the movie, I was thinking, oh, I guess they're just doing this. And then whenever the twist happened, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I should have thought about that. But
Mm-hmm.
it was, it was a fun movie. Nothing crazy, nothing,
I think
that
we
different from anything.
I think we said it was like the perfect just to streaming movie. Like it was like
Yeah,
a very solid to streaming movie.
it's one of those that like when John Wick came out, that's what you were thinking it would be, like something like this, where it was just like, oh, nothing too offensive, nothing too crazy, like out there, and then all of a sudden John Wick comes out and it's one of the best action franchises ever. But
Right.
obviously it's not that. But it's just nice seeing Ben Affleck and Matt Damon together again. It's really cool. Those are my boys. I've known them for a while, ever since I saw the movie Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Don't know them. I just know
You know
what an
them. We
awesome
saw them in a
movie that
Dunkin'
is.
commercial, at least one of
We
them.
did see him. That was an interesting thing, and we might talk about that. But it was just funny the timing of everything. But yeah, that was a solid movie. Cast is really good. I like Steven Yeun being in everything. He's awesome. And then a little sneaky thing that might lead into something coming up at the end of this. Kyle Chandler is in
Yes.
it. Kyle
Yes.
Chandler, always a fun actor, going
Right.
back to Friday Night Lights, going back to anything he's in,
Right.
and so he might be coming up a little later in something. But yeah, that was good. The big one, I finally watched all the Lord of the Rings movies. I'd never
Okay.
seen any of them but Fellowship, and I watched that when I was in high school.
Right.
So it wasn't like I'm above this thing. It was just these movies are so long, man. Like it's something that you really got to commit time to. And going back to the Snowmageddon, like there
Well,
was a lot of time there.
yeah,
So
all you had is
uh,
time.
I watched Fellowship. I rewatched that for the first time in a while on my TV, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. Maybe the best looking movie I've ever seen. I watched the second one as God intended on my phone in the dark with no power. Um, And then I was going to do the same thing with Return of the King, but I was like, you know what, I can't do this. So I actually ended up watching that on the big screen of the TV in our office at work, in our lobby. And
Okay.
so it was an incredible experience. Really, really well worth watching all three of those movies. I didn't watch the like special editions because it's like, look, I don't want to see like a 4 or 5 hour movie. Like it is what it is. I'm sure there's stuff that maybe in the future I'll go back and look at to get deep in the lore and everything. But
Right.
all in all, it was just something where I came out of that and Return of the King where it's like, this is maybe the most difficult thing. Like King of the Ring of Mordor is probably the most difficult thing ever accomplished in a movie. Because just everything that it took for everybody to get to that point was just nuts. So
Yeah.
that's the big stuff. So I can't say I've watched a whole lot of stuff that I'm not liking lately. So
Would you then, okay, you've done the Lord of the Rings. Did watching those get you to watching like The Hobbit or the Amazon show? Are you hooked in the universe? Are you like, all right, I've done those, check that off the list, I'm moved on.
it's probably more towards checking it off and moving on. I know that the reputation of like The Hobbit and the Amazon show is not incredible.
Yeah,
So I might get around to it, but there's just a lot of good stuff going on right now. Like I just finished the Fallout season 2, like that was good, and it's something where I'm not trying to inundate myself with a bunch of other things that maybe I'm not as tapped into.
fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Peyton, over to you, man. What have you
I've
been
also
watching
got
recently?
I've also got multiple things to talk about. Um, Starting with this is mainly because the most recent movie I watched was terrible, and I don't want to talk about it too long. It was Ghost Ship, 2002. Um,
Ghost Ship.
just awful. I gave it 2 stars on Letterboxd.
What is
Um,
that?
so the
How'd you find?
premise is it's there's this ship, and in the 1960s, um, there's a big um, there's a big accident
Yeah.
where something breaks off of like the mast and
Yes.
cuts across like all this like big wire just like cuts across the like the top of the ship
Uh-huh.
and cuts everyone in half.
Hmm.
Everyone on the ship dies.
Okay.
Well,
Um,
it's kind of a big spoiler right
it's
there, right off the bat.
insane. But that's the opening scene, and then you see
Uh-huh.
everybody's like tops like slide off. That is the best scene in the movie. The second best scene in the movie is about an hour and a half into it when they basically just show that whole scene again. It is terrible. It's about
You gave it two. Well, you said 2 stars.
yes, it was kind of fun,
Okay.
but um it's about a group of salvagers in the present day or 2002 present day that that are going to come across it and they're bringing it in. There's a bunch of gold on it. They're going to get a big ransom, um, or a big reward, and that's as far as I'll go into that. It's crazy. It's weird. I hated every second of it.
That's awesome.
Not enough to give it 1 star because that's I reserve that's reserved for just the pits. This was just, it was actually it was a little bit fun, but it wasn't good. It was a lot of TV actors, if that makes sense. It's got Desmond
Yep.
Harrington, who's in Dexter,
Yep.
Juliana Margulis, who's in The Good Wife, Carl Urban and The Boys. It's like a bunch of actors that I knew. Gabriel Byrne, he was in The Usual Suspects. Um, it wasn't good. I didn't like it. It was a little bit fun, but it wasn't good. And then the movie that I'd rather talk about, going back to Affleck and Matt Damon, I watched Dogma, the Kevin Smith movie. Um, Very, very famous one of his. I don't know if you can call it a kick yet because I've just watched 2 of them, but
Okay.
I've been really into Kevin Smith movies this past month or so. I watched Clerks, which I highly recommend. But Dogma also really good. I didn't like it quite as much as Clerks, but I kind of want to rewatch it and see. But it's about It's Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are two fallen angels who get put in the worst place that God could send them, Wisconsin. Um, and uh, and based on Catholic dogma, which is that uh, the verse based on the verse that um, as it is on earth, it will be in heaven, which is what the Catholic Church uses to make up their rules to let you into heaven. So the Catholic Church comes up with this loophole to get into heaven, and that is the only way that Bartleby and Loki, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon can get back into heaven is by using this loophole in New Jersey. So they go on this big journey, and they're being chased down by the main character, Linda Fiorentino, and Jay and Silent Bob, who are in every one of Kevin Smith's movies. He plays Silent Bob, um, and it's so much fun. I know you guys have definitely seen the Buddy Christ. It was a meme back in the early 2010s. This one, it's got Salma Hayek. It's got Jay and Silent Bob. It's got Chris Lee, who's oddly beautiful in it. Chris Rock as a Black 13th disciple named Rufus. It's weirdly an interesting theological like it has some interesting like perspectives.
A little merit to it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of merit to it.
Right.
Mostly it's just making fun of the Catholic Church, but there's some fun stuff in there. Um, but again, highly recommend. I gave it 4 stars with the like. But it was really fun. But this last week, um, I haven't been watching as much movies because I've been going through True Detective season one,
I
which I
mean,
started a few years ago. Um, but
Love it.
never finished. Only got through a couple episodes. And this last week, I went through all 8 episodes.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh!
It's just
It's to that level.
it's just unbelievable.
I mean, Woody Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey. My coworker posed this question to me at work the other week. Um, is Matthew McConaughey the best cigarette actor in the world?
Dude, yeah. I mean, he has to be up there,
I
right?
said it's
I don't
got to be
know.
between him and Affleck.
Affleck in the Rip
Ah,
was
Affleck in that
he
new
was
one I
doing some
heard is
sick.
really
There were
good.
some scenes where I'm looking at Affleck in the Rip and I'm just like, I don't even think this called for a cigarette here. But you just brought that in. It's part of the character now. You're hitting that and going.
You know, but
Talking about the Rip, like
yeah.
maybe a little double meaning there with his little character
maybe.
choices.
But
But going back to season one though, like that's the season of television that should be like you compare it to everything else. Like that's what's
Yeah.
the comparison I always say. Like
yeah,
there's a lot of great seasons of television, and we could do another day of like just seasons wise.
yeah.
True Detective season one is probably in your top three, in my opinion, because it's that good. Like it's the thing you compare everything else to, in my opinion.
It's top
It,
five for me for sure.
it's just the combination of like an actual detective story that mixes like time and like perspectives of time, and then you're not sure who, like, oh, maybe Rust is the killer, or maybe it's something else, and you're trying to figure it out. And but the main point of it isn't like that they catch the killer and that's the issue. Like that's not the big thing to solve. It's just the way that they delve into like
Their
all
lives,
their
everything.
lives, and then how everything from like the government to the church to all these people in Louisiana are like
Yeah.
a part of this whole conspiracy. And it's one of those things that you get out of it. And for a show that's so dark, the ending is so surprisingly hopeful about it all, without coming together and being like, oh, look, everybody's done. They caught all the killers and the creeps and the people in the government that's been running it all. Like it's still like out there, and there's no resolution to it. It's not like they're doing another season to follow up that storyline, and I don't think they should.
No.
It's just
Just wait for the
really,
stars.
yeah. Oh,
Have y'all seen, speaking of that, like I after watching season one, it was incredible. I went and watched season two. Good, just not on that level. Have you watched season four? Since have
mm-mm.
y'all either of y'all? So season
That's the night
yes,
country, the new
would
one.
not watch, would not recommend. It's not good.
I
But
heard three. I heard three was the second best.
Yeah, I
that
heard
makes
three.
sense.
That's the one with Mahershala.
Marshall, yeah. Season four has ties to season one, and they tied
I
it
heard that.
and
Season four
like
is Jodie Foster, right?
yes,
Yeah,
which she's great in it.
I love
Uh,
Jodie
but
Foster.
but the whole premise of the show is just not good. That's the issue. But
yeah,
the spiral and that type of stuff is back in this show in season four. I think it was because they knew it was just not a good product and they had to tie it back in to get people
yeah,
excited. But like that's a show, it's so hard to do as perfect as season one, and they're just never
yeah,
going to. But like if you can get me another show like season one, like I'll watch it any day of
yeah.
the week, you
Well,
know?
the interesting thing is like conception. So like recently, I've gotten really into the idea of like these anthology things where it's like you have this concept
Yeah.
and then you do different iterations of it, but they don't tie together really. And so it's like the Knives Out franchise or the True Detective or White Lotus. It's like these
Yes.
things that are completely separate, and then White Lotus has some like ties in between, but it's not something that's like you need to
Yeah.
watch every single thing to understand it. Just these things where the whole plot is based off of we're going to get these really big, talented people in the room and we're just going to let them do their thing. And then we're going to have this similar thing that we do every season. And then we're just going to let everybody do their thing. I think that's really cool. And I think the idea of doing more seasons of True Detective is really interesting. And
Yes.
I wish that it's just one of those things where season one is just so like the quality and the like intention behind it is just at a level that's completely unmatched by anything else that you could even try to do. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things that like I would it would have to be like 20 years from now where all of a sudden the writer comes up with this idea where it's like, oh wow, I think we finally cracked it.
But
Like
you
it's not something that you can
right.
just do.
And you
It's Kerry Joji Fukunaga also. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Does the No Time to Die, which I liked. A lot of people didn't
yeah,
like
I
it,
did
but
too. I enjoyed it.
uh, I've liked a few of his things.
And
Hmm.
you see it because speaking of that, like how perfect it is, you see so many people in like movie studios be like, we're trying to do a true detective style show because they're
Yep.
trying to do like you see that with Lanterns. That's like the big pitch they're doing. He agrees, right? And so like um, yeah, everyone just tries to do it something like that. And last thing I'll mention before we move on, I was looking it up because I think this is one of the best years of television when that show came out. This is the outstanding lead actor in the drama series for the Emmys.
Yeah. It's
Brian,
nuts.
it's a classic, but you have to say it. Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad, Kevin Spacey in House of Cards, Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson for True Detective season one, John Hamm for Mad Men, and then Jeff Daniels in the Newsroom, which I don't know if you've ever seen, but he is phenomenal at that as well. That is probably the most stacked cast of like whatever, what is that, six names in there ever. Like it is truly incredible that those are all those shows are like 5 out of 5 shows. Like
Give me Kit Harington over all of them.
oh, and that's the thing. Like did they must have like they didn't even get
Beam on the
nominated for
earth,
that.
White Walkers at the wall. Give me Kit Harrington.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's a crazy list.
Yeah. And Bryan Cranston won for that, which I think is like season that's one of the late seasons of Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad, which makes sense, but
What year is
still,
that?
I don't know when it ended, but around there. But anyways, the last thing I want to mention because y'all talked multiple stuff and I didn't get to. The other thing I watched recently, I've been watching Wonder Man, good show, shout out to it. The other thing I really wanted to mention was I watched all three Star Trek movies from the J.J. Abrams trilogy. And I told y'all this, I can't believe J.J. Abrams isn't able to direct more stuff recently. The last thing he directed was Star Wars whatever the final one in the sequel trilogy, which was in 2019. We have not seen him ever anywhere since then, which is crazy. And we could talk a lot about the Star Wars trilogy another day, so I won't get into the details, but it's like everyone knew that the last movie was just going to be bad. And that's not really even on JJ. That he got put in the situation it was just never going to be good, right? But the first one of the three has a good premise, and that that they just didn't execute it well, right? I watched the Star Trek trilogy, and I think it has so much heart. The cast is so good. The art, the style is so good. The CGI is absolutely incredible. And I wish we watched more stuff of him in it, like him directing, because he is so good in that trilogy. And it's something like it's definitely like a childhood, like it's like kind of like Transformers, where like they're not the best movies out there, but like there's just solid like action movies you want to go see at the theaters. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Transformers, a couple of them are really, really good, but you know what I
those
mean?
are
Like,
incredible.
right. Like you just watch him and you go, that's a movie, right? And I wish he did more things. And that's my
He's
last point
he's got
on
a
that.
movie coming out this year.
What's he got?
The Great Beyond, Jenna Ortega, Glenn Powell,
Oh.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Interesting.
My wish is my command then, or
I,
whatever that
listen,
saying is.
JJ Abrams will always have a fan in me for creating my favorite TV show, Lost. So
Still in the
I'm sat for whatever he does.
So true.
still in the
Um,
process of Lost right now. So I need it's been a while since I've watched episodes. I need to get back.
Jump back
It
in.
coming off Netflix really hurt me because I can't download the episodes on Disney Plus.
mm,
But we'll get there.
I need to. That's the same thing with Mr. Was it Mr. Robot? Or yeah, the show with Remy Malik. I've always tried to
Yeah.
finish it, and it's really, really good. I just haven't finished it. Um, Anyways, moving on to the next thing we want to talk about is the Hedge Knight himself, Duncan the Tall, Sir Duncan the Tall, and the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which is a fantastic show, and we're all big Game of Thrones fans, so that's by itself why we like this show. But I think they took everything that I don't. A lot of people are hating on House of the Dragon recently, which I think a little bit too much because everyone will go sit right back down and watch season three when they start with the Battle of the Gullet, right? And you watch all these guys. Season three will be awesome, but like I think they took all the stuff that was like, hey, like don't do this in that show, and but this is what makes Game of Thrones show a Game of Thrones show, but added so much more heart to the show because of the story that they're adapting, and have made this fantastically written, great casted, just amazing show that's about like hope, right? Like, I think Zach, you sent the meme the other day of like them versus Superman of like just this hope contest of big guys and like displaying hope, and it's absolutely that. Like they take the greatness of like a Game of Thrones show that gets you ingrained in this universe with all these houses and knights and dragons and all of this. You don't even need dragons in this one, and it's so well put together, and it like just hearing the Game of Thrones, that's when you know it's good, is just hearing the Game of Thrones music in that last episode. This is after episode
Oh,
4. And it's
So we're also we're gonna let it all go with this.
oh, I don't,
There's
yeah,
no
no,
pretext that it's
yeah,
spoilers
spoiler
for
alert,
every episode out. It's
right?
been
Like
enough time.
it, watch, like it's so good hearing that music, just hearing the music with that moment. It
dun,
just
dun,
brings you
dun,
back to
dun,
like
dun, 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 dun.
it just brings you back to when you were like watching season 5 of Game of Thrones and that feeling of like Jon Snow just died or like something like that where like they're fighting and it's the Battle of the Bastards or something like that where you're just like this is awesome. And Game of Thrones is one of the few shows that like makes you watch something and go like a whole bar like you've definitely seen those videos of the bars together like watching the shows and like you bring a whole like a people together like in a way that not many shows do. Like I think Stranger Things was our most recent one and you saw how that ended, but like there's not many shows out there that you I remember the video when season 8 came out for Game of Thrones, like an apartment building in like New York or something, and each story in the thing was all watching this episode of Game of Thrones at the same exact time because everyone wanted to watch it, right? And on Sunday nights. And I feel like we're not getting to that point because I think it's still smaller and like people watching, but I think this can be a show that definitely can be that because it's so well written so far.
Yeah, it's like season 8 really left a taste in everybody's mouth that kind of the brand needed rehabilitation.
Yes.
And House of the Dragon first season I think was pretty incredible, especially for what they had to take on with like taking on so much time, and also like I'm pretty sure the source material is not like super
Yeah.
big with that, so they really had to take liberties with like what they put in that show. Season two, I think, was pretty underwhelming when it comes to just it felt like a lot of setup, and
Yes.
setup can be good. There's Game of Thrones seasons that are all set up, but you still need those moments in it that show you where we're going and that show you like things are happening. Like
Yeah.
I think probably the most disappointed I've been in a Game of Thrones like show since eight was the finale of season two of House of the Dragon, because it's just like, okay, we're getting to this point, we're rallying troops, we're about to have this big battle, and then we're just done. And I didn't know that that was the finale when I watched it, and so it was kind of just like, oh,
Yeah.
what were we doing this whole time? If like
I yeah.
it's crazy.
And
But back
I
to
no, I think they
yeah,
cut, speaking of that, I think HBO cut an episode or two at the end of that show. And I think that's also why it has that little feeling. But
mhm,
you're absolutely right. You're kind of like it's the whole filler. The whole season's really filler
yeah,
with one dragon battle that which is high, but like the rest is just
yeah,
very filler.
incredible.
Which that's why the
Yeah,
thing is they cannot fail in season three. Is
yeah,
like you can't because this is what you lead up to. We could talk more about House of the Dragon as because I think it comes out
yeah,
this summer, which is going
it
to be really
does.
awesome. But yeah,
To get back to the whole idea of like brand rehabilitation, Game of
yes,
Thrones, gutter, season eight, bad, House of the Dragon, kind of disappointing at what we last saw. And then you have this little show come out about a little knight and a little kid, and it's one of those things that when you first
Funny
watch
little
it,
bald child.
you're kind of not even sure it's Game of Thrones.
right,
Like like I said, I just watched Lord of the Rings for the first time. It really felt more like tonally like Lord of the Rings than anything I've seen in Game of Thrones, and I don't think that's a bad thing,
no,
because at its core, there's still the Game of Thrones world, the mythology, the characters. Dunk is not this incredibly honorable guy that is, super nice all the time. Like he's very honorable and he shows everything he aspires to be when it comes to being a knight, but he lies about being knighted. He's rude to Egg a lot. He's very, abrasive and not the smartest, but at the same time, you just see the like passion and desire to like live out those values of being a knight. And it's
hmm,
just one of those things where this show, we talk about just to skip ahead to like this last episode.
yeah,
It's really cool when a show or a movie can do something where on paper you just read what it is. It's not this big fight. It's not this big, romance. It's not
right,
this and this and this. Like a movie like Oppenheimer, you get the tension because you've built the characters. The music shows the mood,
yeah,
and you just have this incredible writing to bring it all together. And in, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, you have this moment where I'm getting hyped up just with Dunk's speech to the entire
yes,
like crowd. That is something where I'm like, if we leave the episode with just that alone, I'm like, dang, that's awesome. Like just him getting to that moment where like this is like put up or shut up time with him, because this is his life on the line, and it's not just his life. It's like he's trying to think that like everything he's believed in his whole life about what it takes to be a knight is just being spat on.
yeah.
It's being looked down on by the ruling family, by the people in the crowd, that like also the other small folk. It's like, and then all of a sudden you see this, classic, cavalry coming in, and you see this horse, and then you see that Targaryen armor. You're like, oh, what does this mean? And then just absolute cinema of Baelor Targaryen, second in or first in line to the throne,
Yep.
like deciding, you know what, I'm going to go against my family because I believe in the ideals that he has espoused every time he's spoken to me.
And in a time too where Targaryens are looked so bad upon by the people of not being good rulers, just the name alone is why they're there. You see a guy who, like the one side of his family is totally that, and now he comes in as kind of like this is why the Targaryens were rulers. This is how to be a good ruler, and it's the that whole scene is just incredible. Um, yeah, and
The
there's so
music, I mean, we can speak on the music. It's just
it starts out slow when the doors open and you're just sitting there like okay you see it okay the Targaryen armor maybe it's the whatever the son of Baelor and that's his armor you saw earlier in the season you're like okay okay and then he takes off the helmet and that just the Game of Thrones hits and you're sitting there like you're watching an end game and like Cap just picked up the hammer, like that feeling of just like, let's go. Like you don't have that often, and it's an incredible feeling. And it's
Yeah. I mean,
there's not
Peyton,
a
I know you were I think Peyton, you were the last person of us to watch it, and I was
yeah,
just so excited for you to get to this point because
yeah,
I think just they showed such incredible restraint with the the allure and the aura of the Game of Thrones theme, where they tease us in the first episode, and then we immediately get this like the rug pulled out, where it's like,
yeah.
yeah, this isn't the same type of show. But
Yeah.
then, but then you get here and
It,
you're like, but it really is.
but
The
4 episodes,
payoff.
the tone shifts so quickly. Like in 4 episodes, there hasn't been a sword swung in a Game of Thrones show. Like the most you got was jousting, which was more just to show Darren. Is it Darren? Right? Is just this evil guy
Arian.
that or Arian? Yeah, yeah. And you just see him as an evil guy, not more for like the battle itself, right? It's more just to show his villainy of like evil, right? Like it's not action. It's just writing and talking, and you see these two guys, and even the third episode where you find out Egg is a Targaryen, like it's so well done. Like you've gotten to know this guy, and you see this little kid like swinging an axe, and you love this little kid, and now you just think he's a normal child, and then boom, switch. Like if you don't know the Game of Thrones and don't know the history, like that's incredible, right? Like it's such a good twist each episode. It's a great thing to do it in episode 3 to do the twist of him being a Targaryen. Like we have 2 more episodes, I believe, right? I think it's 6 or 8 things.
Six.
6.
Six.
So you're gonna have the joust, whatever, or the battle tomorrow or on next Sunday, and then probably what's next, right? And then what's great about this show too, which most more places should do this, is like we're gonna have this next year too. Like it's gonna be not a wait 2.5 years for a new season. It's gonna be every season 6 episodes or 8 episodes probably, and it's just gonna be 30 minutes apiece. And I will wait every Sunday for 30 minutes apiece for this show because it's so well done.
Yep. And it's like, I mean, for him to have his entire life, Duncan, for him to go his entire life without anybody really believing in him, without even really being knighted by this hedge knight that he's squired for years,
Hmm.
for finally someone to believe in him, and it's this little bald kid. Like that's the first person that really put their faith in him and was like, no, I want a squire for you. And to find out that kid is a Targaryen,
Hmm.
soon to be Aegon the Fifth.
Yeah.
Like that's big in the grand scheme of things. Just to be like, wow, this kid that's someday going to be king. Obviously, Duncan doesn't know this, but or Dunk doesn't know this, but for the viewer to just be like sit back and be like, oh, this is going to be good, and then to look back, I saw this on Twitter earlier. Um, the in Game of Thrones when when Joffrey and um, when Joffrey's looking through the book of Knights,
Yeah.
the him and Jamie are looking through the book of Knights, the what's it called actually?
Like it's basically the history book of
Book
like
of
everything
Brothers,
important.
right? Of all the knights. Um, Joffrey flips through it and goes, Sir Duncan the Tall, 4 pages, must have been quite a man. And Jamie goes, so they say. And I just think that's really cool, just like to see that and look back and go, wow, this is going to be a journey. It's going to be a ride for 4 pages worth of Sir Duncan the Tall.
Right.
Meanwhile, look, Jamie Lannister, the Kingslayer, had nothing written about him.
It's just it's
It's
just crazy. You think about Game of Thrones and it's like the biggest word that I think of when I think about it is just consequences. Like everything that happens in the show, any action that someone does until the later seasons, like if you marry somebody when you're
Yeah.
supposed to marry somebody else, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you marry the right person, something good is going to happen. If you go back on your word, there's going to be consequences for that. And it's interesting because people kind of misinterpret that for like, oh, this is the show where everybody can die and everybody's going to die because it's shocking and everything, and they're going to kill the main characters, and it's like that happens, but it's not like you
There's
know,
there's reasoning behind it in most
yeah,
circumstances, and that's why it's so good. Like the Red Wedding, right? Like it's such a shocking thing back in the day, but Rob Stark dies because of reasons, like because he betrayed people's trust. And so like and that's what the Game of Thrones is that, you know, I think it's also really cool that we know like Egg is the like, you know, the fourth son of the like the fourth son in the line of the throne, and you know, he has his, you know, the whatever the future told to him, and you know, he's going to be king and then dies, right? And that's all we know about this character in the terms of the show. I am so excited from this little boy and seeing how, like, if we get 6 seasons of this hypothetically, right? And we get all these seasons to show from here to there, and how does it get finally to there? Like, that's going to be so cool to finally that payoff of like, how in the world does he get from there to where his, you know, that means technically his dad's the king, and then for to him, right? Where are his other brothers? Like, how does it finally get to him to become king? And I think that's such a cool. We're gonna be so. It's gonna be just so cool to watch that as seasons go on. So
speaking of Egg, like this Dexter Soul Ansel, I think is his name.
yeah,
What
incredible.
a find! Like
What?
I mean, they talked about doing like 5 seasons every like 10 or so years or like whatever, just to age with the actors. And I think if that can happen, I think that will be one of the cooler things to happen
Because it's
cinematically.
also, if they keep it short, this season is going to be the length of a long movie.
Yeah,
It's the kind of thing where the writers are working on it, but
yeah,
it doesn't keep the actors hostage. They can go do their other things,
Hmm.
which I think keeping it at 6 to 8 episodes of 30 minutes
yeah.
every year, I don't need more than that.
No,
Yeah.
There's other shows, there's other movies that I need to watch. If that's what it takes to keep on two actors and keep a show going five seasons at a time every 10 years,
because
I'm
both
Yeah.
I'm
of
totally happy.
Dunk and Egg should be like guys who go and star in other things. Like,
Yes.
you know, hopefully, you know, Egg doesn't take the Stranger Things route where it's like they locked in and they're known for that forever, right? Even Millie Bobby Brown tries to get out and it really doesn't. Finn's done a good job, but not the point. But like, I think it's gonna be so well done. And these books that I believe I've tried to done a little bit like watching podcasts and stuff about it, of like the
Yeah.
novellas that Duncan Sir Duncan is all about, like aren't long, right? Like the first novella that this is based off is basically over after the tournament. Like it's done. So like they don't have much to go on, but like they can do way more seasons just on the base of history. And as long as you like, as long as George likes the show, like he will promote it and help it and like all it is. And that's something they've seen with House of the Dragon, right? Where the showrunner like is not really on the great of terms with George, right? But this guy, you know, I think he said like Egg is like out of the book. And it's just
Yeah.
perfect. And you can see it in how they're doing the show. It's just perfect with him behind it. And the showrunners like love the thing. And I think one of the showrunners, we can wrap it up kind of here unless y'all have any points of like, um, I think that the novellas are basically like it's basically a script, right? Where there's dialogue from Dunk and these other people, so it's really easier to adapt. While Fire and Blood is like this, like House of the Dragon is this giant like history textbook basically that you kind of have to make things up as you go along. Like, okay, I think this is from someone's point of view and this is from another point of view. Like, what is the right? And so like it's harder to adapt that. This is so easy to adapt because it's
Yeah.
basically like a script already. So this should be something that should be very easy to do. Just adapt, like it's like the I will take Sir Duncan's side is literally from the book. Like it should be so easy to do. And as we know with the 6 seasons of Game of Thrones, if you follow George, that's all that matters, and it will be good every single step of the way.
The writing in this, I feel like it's just a real testament to his ability to
Yes.
tell a story. And it's funny because like today I ordered the first A Game of Thrones book just because I was
Oh,
like, you know what, I want to see what like where this comes from in his perspective as a writer and not just as someone whose things are getting adapted.
yeah.
Because it's one thing to see something adapted, and to go back to like the Fire and Blood, the House of the Dragon, I feel like that's a really unique situation that I don't know if I want to side really heavily with one or the other, but it's like the fact that it is like a history text, but I'm pretty sure it's also kind of like not the most reliable because it takes the
Right.
kind of idea that history is told by the winners and the history is also told by just the common people who may not know everything that happened. And so there's a lot of liberties you have to take. And from George's perspective, maybe they're not liberties that he would take.
Yeah.
Uh, but at the same time, there's no other choice for these showrunners than to do it. But this Night of the Seven Kingdoms is really cool, and this will be my final thing. Just the fact
Yeah.
that it is so. It seems like it's so one to one. It seems so exactly like I saw a video where someone lined up this moment, this final moment from episode four with the pages in the book, and it's just like I feel like that's just got to be one of the coolest things as a writer, as someone who's made something, to
Yeah.
see your work adapted so faithfully, it seems. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
Love
And
it.
I'm excited for episode 5 and 6 and, seeing what comes from those. And we'll be back there to talk about them. So, moving on to the final thing of the thing, because we've been going for just a good amount of time now, we're going to do a draft. And it's basically the draft is the things you're most excited for this year in pop culture, right? So it could be movies and TV shows, which I'm going to guess it's basically what it is, right? But if you have a game or a book or something like that you want to talk about, let's do it. It has to be entertainment, right? You got to watch it or read it, basically. That's what it has to be. So, or I guess play it if you want to do a video game, but I don't know what games are out. Um, GTA 6 is just not going to come out, so there's like no other answer besides that.
That doesn't count.
Yeah. So Peyton Reed, I believe you have the first overall pick as we just did right before this, right? So, and then it's me and then Zach on the third pick, and then he wraps around to start the second round. We said we're gonna do 5 rounds, but if we just keep going, we keep going as long as we do not care. So, Peyton Reed, the first overall pick in the
I am
what is it? The Honey Wagon draft
the
of
Honey
2026.
Wagon 2026 pop culture draft. Uh,
not to pin you like this, I know what it is,
what do you?
and I just want you to go.
There's a correct choice here.
I'm gonna take the future best picture and the movie that will sweep the 2027 Oscars. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Nolan is my favorite director. He's the best in the world. He's one of the greatest of all time. Um, there's really not much more that needs to be said. It's one of the greatest stories ever written. Um, and it's going to be incredible. It's going to be epic.
Yeah, I
Good
can't.
one.
The fact I'll add a little bit of just like the fact that he doesn't really do a lot of CGI or very sci-fi stuff. It's very more grounded, and he's doing the Odyssey is such a cool thing that I'm so excited to see if he can actually pay it off because
He's the
it's
king of practical effects. He
right.
is, I mean, he's a brilliant writer. He knows how to get the best out of actors. I mean, there's nobody doing it like him right now.
Nope.
I mean, we've got some great directors out there. Paul Thomas Anderson just dominated this year, and
Yeah.
Nolan is going to sweep next year. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's heads above the second best out there, which I think is Dennis Villanueva and PTA.
Yeah. And speaking of that, since it is my pick, I'm going with the guy that will be battling him in the
Good old
2027
Denis.
Oscar is Dune 3. Um, Dune Messiah. And I think this is gonna get it Oscar wise because you didn't really get hit with Dune Part Two, which it's insane. I think this might get hit of like the Return of the King type of thing of like these movies are so epic and good and incredible that they deserve more love at the award show. And I think that might happen with this one. This is also like from what I don't know anything about Dune much. Like I've never read the books, but I've heard this is kind of the one that's like the hardest to adapt because it's the most out there. But like if anyone can do it, it's Denny, right? Like he is created like to do this. And I think Zach and I's friendship bonded way more over Dune Part Two than anything back in the day when it first came out, because
This is
like
incredible.
in theaters in IMAX. It was the best movie experience I've ever seen. Like it was such a good time. It's my favorite movie of the 2020s. Like I love Dune Part 2 so much. And award show it gave him a couple of Oscars for certain things here and there, but like I think this is the one to put it on like if it lands and it lands big, like we might be talking about like this as like I'm not saying it's gonna be Star Wars because it never will, but like it could be to that level of like 20 years from now being like, do you remember the Dune trilogy and how good it was? And like you show this to your kids of like, look at this, right? Like I think it can be to that level if it lands. But does it land? And that's going to be the question. But like Zendaya is back, Anya Taylor-Joy, Florence Pugh, Timothy Chalamet, Jason Momoa comes back, right? I'm guessing Brolin and guys like that come back too. Um, the cast is stacked. Denis is one of the best to do it. And he does this before he goes and does a James Bond movie. Like, this is the last thing to be really cool. And how can you not pick Dune 3?
And Timothy Chalamet is at the top of his game also.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean, he's just
he's
he's the best
he's
out right now.
I
Like
think
nobody's topping him.
I
No.
think he's top two. I think him and Leo are 1A, 1B right now, whichever way you slice it. And I mean,
As, a, as
nobody
I think all of
nobody's
us
doing it
like,
like those guys.
no. And as a creative, I think we all three of like the marketing that he's going to do for Dune 3 is going to be so much fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's going to be so cool to see what he does. But, Zach, you have back-to-back picks now. What do you want to choose?
This is kind of a tough one for me. I think this year is a year that I'm excited for. I don't think there's a ton that I'm really over the moon about. Obviously, the Odyssey is that would be my pick. That would be my favorite, my most anticipated thing this year. For the same reasons both of you put out. Dune Part Three. I think if I had the choice, I probably would have picked it. But it's one of those that it's there's a lot more uncertainty about it
Yes.
than Dune Part Two. The Dune Part Two is one where it's like this just is an event, and surely this Part Three will be as well. But the event, you knew what was going on. I haven't read the books. I don't know if
Yeah.
y'all have read the books. I haven't seen a whole lot about it. I know that it's very different, and it's very, you see Paul being this dictator, basically become the villain
Right.
uh, of this story. But at the same time, like, what is that going to be? Obviously, I trust the creatives behind it, so that's why it's one of those that's
Yeah.
I'm just going to see. So it's tough. I'm kind of left with options where it's not something that I really am trusting, but
Mm,
it's one that
I know where you're going.
shoot, man, it's hard to do this and not pick the Avengers movie
yeah.
because it's just this thing. You what was in Infinity War, Thanos is like, dread it, run from it, destiny comes all the same. It just feels like Marvel is inevitable at this point every
Yep.
single time. And no matter how down they get, it's one of those where like ask anyone on the street what they know about Marvel right now. They'll be like, "Oh, I remember I saw a couple of things here and there." Uh, but I think Avengers is coming out and they're gonna see it.
Right.
And like everybody's gonna see this. And it's really put up or shut up time for Marvel because
That,
you're making a big move with
yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. You're making a big move, which is pretty safe in my opinion, of just bringing back the X-Men cast. You bringing back some of the old actors, Chris Evans, and then the new Fantastic Four. But at the same time, it's like, dude, if this works, it's just going to be a spectacle. And I'm a human. I love the X-Men when they came out. I'm pretty excited to see the X-Men in a situation where they're probably not going to do very well. But it's these characters that,
Yeah.
were a big part of my childhood. Now, personally, my favorite like comic book villain in Doctor Doom. Now, I'm pretty disappointed that it's not a one-to-one adaptation of like what Doctor Doom should be.
Yeah.
But again, like I can't change it. You have to trust the creatives, and the creatives haven't given us a whole lot to trust lately outside of Marvel.
Yeah.
but the Russos have a pretty good hit rate with Marvel,
They
and
they're batting 1,000. Like they haven't
you,
missed on a
you
movie.
can complain about the setup, you can complain about the the stunt casting and the remember berries and the all the cameos. It's just like if it works, it's gonna be cool. Like it just is.
Not
So
It's
not
gonna
where I
make
thought you
money.
were going with this thing.
but I
I've
have
got a
I have two questions for you very quickly.
yeah, I've
One,
got a tough pick number two.
number one, what if it doesn't work? Like,
If it doesn't work,
what
It might
happens?
be over.
If you walk out of that movie and it's this jumbled mess, the villain isn't good, right? The CGI is okay, like is solid, but it's like it's so much messy, and it's just like, what did I just watch? Like that wasn't like I don't know what I want. I don't like what I watched.
yeah.
What happens there?
I if that happens, I think that's going back to other, we've seen things happen like this before, not to this
Like
scale,
it's like
but
Star
like
Wars.
This is Justice League
Yeah,
2017. This is Star Wars, this is The Last Jedi, a movie that I think is better than people give it credit for, but obviously the impact on the franchise
yeah,
was pretty negative wholesale.
yeah.
This is something where it's not going to kill it.
But
It is going to slow things down. It's going to
it's
slow everything down, and it's
yeah,
going to be something where you're going to you see how DC is doing things where it's like you're trickling out things. You're really trying to take your time because you do not want to put something out that is not worth putting out.
yeah,
And it's one of those things where it, it it's going to take a while to come back from if this fails. And I wonder how they do, like if it doesn't work and they're still doing the Secret Wars, this next one, what do they do with that? Like
yeah.
surely it's going to come out, and it's supposed to come out next year, I think. So
I think so. Yeah, but
man,
I agree.
it's something we really have to consider because
Yeah,
the Russos have not done well outside of Marvel, and
Gray
so you
Man
have to
was
take that into
yeah,
account.
yeah.
We who's the lead of the movie?
No
Doctor
idea.
Doom, probably,
Is it
because
Chris Hemsworth? Like
yeah, it's one of those things you don't know who the Avengers are.
you
Like
have no idea about this
you have
movie.
Anthony
Is it the
Mackie.
new Avengers or is it them?
I
We don't know. We have no
they're in
idea.
it. It's just one of those things
There
that
there is
Because if we
no
get the
build up.
Thunderbolts coming out here to fight Doctor Doom,
yeah.
I don't know if they win that fight.
Yeah,
And
it's just and that might be the point. Maybe that's the point. But it's like we've kind of done this before with Infinity War, where
right. And how
you
like
lose and then you come back in the next one.
and if it's like okay, you're putting Chris Hemsworth, uh, Chris Evans, and Robert Downey Jr. against each other just in a triple threat. Like that's really what the movie is about. Then what's the past like since
Yeah, what's the
2019
point?
built? Like
Yeah, what have we been doing?
you've been trying to build up Captain America as Sam Wilson. That doesn't matter any like there's a lot that goes into this movie that like it's going to be so interesting to see how it works.
Yeah.
But I think Sean Fennessy from The Ringer actually put this on one of the things why we did this, right? Was the House of R does a hype draft, and that's what we got this reference
Shout out
to.
the Ringer.
Yeah, shout out The
Incredible
Ringer.
work.
Incredible. I've gotten more into them recently. They're awesome. But he basically said, I don't really care because then like I have to watch this movie because if I watch James Marsden as Cyclops shoot like sentinels with his ruby beam and like in the trailer, right? And you see him do that, it doesn't matter. Like I will watch that every time I see go and see that movie, you know?
Yeah. I'll round it out like this.
Yeah,
If nothing else, I'm gonna get to see my favorite character in all of X-Men again, in Nightcrawler.
so true.
And I'm gonna get to see Gambit again, who
Oh, you
maybe
get
is
to see your friend
miscast with
Gambit.
Channing Tatum.
Little miscast, but it's okay.
But I do think in a situation like this where it's not as comedic as Deadpool, I am interested to see how it goes.
Very true.
But moving on to the next pick,
Yep.
I don't want to be at this point it's gonna seem like I have like a, you know, preference.
Yeah.
And maybe I should have made this the third pick.
Now I know where you're going.
I mean, it's gonna be Spider-Man. It's gonna be the new Spider-Man.
Yep.
I'm not even that big a Spider-Man guy. I like the movies. I've grown up on those, so like everybody, and it's just I've always been a Batman or a Spider-Man guy. But it's one of those things where everyone's gonna see this movie and everyone's gonna have their take. And this is one where it seems from everything going into it. First off, the movie's coming out in like May, I think. Has anyone seen a single thing about
No,
this outside of like
you
when
know
they
this.
first started shooting?
That the Hulk is going to be in it, or
Yeah,
Mark
the
Ruffalo.
cast is ridiculous. It doesn't
Mark
make
Ruffalo is going to
sense.
be in it. Sadie Sink is playing a character in it. The
And
Punisher will
I
appear.
think I know who it is. I think I
Right,
know who it is, which is also crazy.
right. The Punisher will be in the movie. I believe the Scorpion is something in the movie,
Yeah.
and we don't even know
The
the
Tombstone
right. We
in
don't
the
know the
movie.
villain either. Like we don't know who he's fighting at the end of the day too. There's,
Yeah.
but
It's
we know it's a guy who just did Shang-Chi and the
yeah,
Wonder Man, and he's
yeah.
2 for 2, and
And
that's all we
outside
know.
of that, this is a guy that they trusted so much that before the whole issue with Kang,
Yeah,
like this guy was going to direct the Avengers.
yeah,
And, you cancel his Avengers movie. I think a pretty good consolation is going to be Spider-Man, which is the second safest bet in Marvel.
yes,
Maybe I'm not going to
No, it's
lie.
the
It might be the
safest.
safest bet.
It's
It's
the
probably the
safest.
safest bet. Yeah.
yes,
It's one of the
So
safest bets in film.
it's that's very
yeah.
true. I'm pretty excited about this, and I don't
Oh,
like when the last Spider-Man came out, I was not that excited. Obviously, everyone knew that they were going to bring back the other ones,
yes,
and it's a big thing, and you get the hype for it. And I was excited to see what they did. But that movie, I think, was very good with very serious flaws. I
yes,
think this movie,
can be good.
despite all the cracks that we're seeing beforehand,
Yes,
where it's like, what are we doing with this cast and
right.
these characters? It's going back to trusting the creatives, and I know Marvel's been weird with creatives with basically not letting them do their thing. I don't know. It just seems like Destin Daniel Cretton is going to be the guy for this.
Question.
And the fact that he has not done a follow up to Shang-Chi, which was pretty successful, I'd say,
Yeah,
well regarded, and he's doing this, I think, I don't know. It's something that I trust and I think is going to be pretty good.
Is Tom Holland getting too old?
I think if you're going to do another trilogy, that this is my thought. I've told this, I think, to Zach. I think that you use this trilogy as to a showcase for Miles Morales in live action. I think that's what you do. You do it one by himself as an adult, you fight a villain. Number two, you bring Miles Morales in as like a sidekick type of thing in the second movie, as a 30 something year old Spider-Man trying to get it probably with a Black Cat and trying to, Gwen Stacy, like something like that where he's trying to be an adult, like doing his thing. And in the third one, he retires or dies and Miles Morales takes over. That's what I would do. That's how I would
I
do this new trilogy.
it's one of those things where, to answer your question, Peyton, the man looks like he's 20 years old
That's a good
And
point
every
too.
he's
second of
now,
his life.
I want to say he's now older than any of the other actors have ever been for any of the other Spider-Man
You're
movies.
probably I will vouch for that. You have
And
to be
people
right.
were starting to say Tobey Maguire was looking old
Yeah.
at the end of Spider-Man 3.
I'm gonna look at this.
Let's
While you're
see.
doing
Tom
that,
Holland is 29, and I'm pretty sure by the time like Tobey Maguire started, he was probably around this age.
yeah.
Toby was it at 30? Yeah.
So I look,
You can
if he wants to do this, and I think it's cool that he's gotten to the point
yeah.
where he's done three movies. He has a Marvel's done a good job of letting the actors that have earned their spot here like have a say. And I think he's heard what fans have complained about. He's seen what's worked, and as someone who's been in this role for as long as he has, it's what 11 years
Yeah.
or 10
Uh
years. Like
Probably yeah, at least. Yeah.
he I would be shocked if he didn't love the character.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where you got to give trust to that. And obviously you have the studio mandates. If we got to throw this character in this, and this, more specifically, probably talking about Sadie Sink's character. But it's just a Spider-Man, man. It's going to work.
And I'm
It's
fine with him being an adult Spider-Man. Like we've gotten the high school. You want to go watch the Miles Morales high school ones? Yeah, go watch those. Like you've seen the young Spider-Man. I'm fine with him being like I'm out of my master's or PhD Spider-Man and I'm trying to do Spider-Man while having a job. Like I'm fine with watching that and seeing how it works. So um moving on to my pick. And I'm actually I don't know what I want to do. All right,
I know what I want you to do.
I'm gonna wait for one that I'm really, really excited about on the flip. And I don't think y'all are not gonna pick that one. So I'm gonna pick one I'm very excited for. I'm gonna pick Lanterns, the HBO Max show. Mm,
Yeah.
like we've not gone Green Lantern in live action since Ryan Reynolds, and that was I think it's a movie that was better than people think about, but it's still not good and was never well received, and
It really ruined the reputation
it ruined
there.
it tremendously. And I think, like we talked about earlier, of like the true detective style show that everyone's trying to be, like I'm really intrigued to see what they do with this. I think the casting is awesome. Aaron Pierre's awesome, right? In Rebel Ridge, he is fantastic in that. And Kyle Chandler, I wish we got a 30-year-old
If this was
Hal
Kyle
jo
Chandler 10, 15 years ago,
yes.
everyone would be so excited.
Right. I think it would be perfect. And I wish we had a 30-year-old Hal Jordan, but prologues and shows you can do before this for a reason, right? I am very excited to see him and both those characters in like this kind of like murder mystery detective style show, and they're basically space cops. And I need to see them in outfits and flying through space. That is my one request. I'm fine with them being in the desert in New Mexico solving a murder and doing all this. Yes. But if you're not a lantern and you're not flying through space and you don't do the oath and you don't have the rings on and you have the weird CG, like I need that to be good. And I'm really worried about that because you have shown nothing, which granted, why would they show anything? Right? But like I need them to be Green Lanterns. And that's what if I don't see the little blue people out on Oa, right, and they talk to them, I am going to be disappointed, right? If I don't see Kilowog, right? Are you going to see Guy Gardner in this show? I think you will, right? Like, are
He
you going to
is
see?
Nathan Fillion's going to be in it,
Right.
which is the
Confirmed.
big knock for me. I can't stand him.
That's that. That he is definitely an
You
actor.
can't
Like,
stand the rookie.
I can't stand the rookie.
Is the rookie going to be on your list? Maybe one of the
Yeah,
picks
it's
for you?
actually my next pick. Season 10. Season 10 of The Rookie is coming out.
gosh,
Shout
but
out the rookie. I'm sure a lot of people are making a lot of money with that.
yeah.
That's
Anyway,
what it's all
I
about.
need it to be good. I think the casting is good. The people behind it is good. I just need it to be good because it sounds like such a cool show. But I need Green Lanterns to be Green Lanterns, and I want to walk out of that show being like, yeah, I want 7 more seasons of that.
Have you have you seen the like theories people have thrown out about the castings of the more ancillary characters?
No, I have not. Like I know, like wasn't one of the. I know some of them are
So
wives.
they cast like Sinestro. So obviously big
Yes,
character.
yes, yes, yes.
And a lot of the like casting descriptions of other characters have made people think that we are getting some named characters that are
The yes,
tricking us into thinking there's some new characters, but you're making a DC show, you're making a comic book show, you probably aren't gonna create a bunch of new characters when there's so much source
right.
material. So there it'll be interesting to see if that ends up being true. And if
Yeah,
it's not true, I'm excited because I've always thought, and I get there's a lot of these movies, but like especially with Spider-Man, to go back to that, like I think it'd be cool if someone just made a new villain or someone made a new character in these movies that really worked. It's not like the easiest thing. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to make an epic new villain for Spider-Man to fight, and he's going to be as big as the Green Goblin." It's like it's not easy.
right.
But it's one of those things where like maybe you elevate somebody, like
And
the
the
Spot in
right.
Spider-Verse
Yeah.
is now a lot bigger than it used to be.
I think the one good thing about the Green Lantern Corps is like, and in general, I last year I read The Darkest Night, um, just series of all the books from all of that, and it's incredible. And one of the coolest things about the Green Lantern Corps is there's other colors, and there's so many other villains you can choose from. Like if you do Atrocitus, I believe that's his name, from the Red Lantern Corps, or you do the orange greed guy, like or like anything like you could do would be really really cool. You don't have to do the yellow, like you don't have to do Sinestro, but it's just such an easy thing to do. But I think there's so many cool things you can do. Like you could do whatever her name is and do Star Sapphire and the villain. Like there's the romance, whatever his name is. Oh my gosh, my dad's gonna kill me. But like there's a lot of things you can do that are going to be really cool. So that's my pick. Peyton, back to you, back to back.
I'll try and keep mine a little quick because I
Yes.
know we're starting to get a little long. Um, my first pick. So you made it a little hard on me because I thought for sure I have three here that I really really liked. So I thought somebody was going to make it easy and take one of them.
Mm,
Um, did not happen. I just kind of accounted for Dune and Avengers being gone. Um, my first pick, I'm going to go with Digger. Um,
it's on my list. Yeah.
Yeah,
which
not
I am
surprised.
just so excited for. Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu. I have liked a couple of his movies. I liked The Revenant. Um, I haven't seen Birdman. It's on my list. I hated Babel. Watched that. Watched that
Babylon?
recently.
I don't
What?
know. No,
There's
Babylon
no
was
bad
Damien
bill.
Chazelle. Babel,
Yeah.
different one. Yeah.
Babel's also Brad Pitt. Or sorry, it's Brad Pitt. And Kate Blanchett. Hated that movie so much. Um, but I trust him. That was in 2006. I trust him with this a lot. I'm really excited. I want to see Tom Cruise in this role. I heard he's wearing heavy prosthetics, which will be very fun to see again. Um, and I'm really excited to see him save the movie industry again.
Mr.
Um,
Movies, president of the movies.
President of the movies.
CEO.
Um, and then my next pick, I I kind of tipped it a second ago. I'm gonna go The Adventures of Cliff Booth.
Oh, I forgot about
It's a
that.
good one.
I Written by Tarantino, directed by Fincher because Tarantino is a big baby.
This
So
is his 10th movie. I mean, it's just his 10th
yes,
movie.
he just won't direct his 10th movie. He's being a weenie about it and decided to pick pretty much the next best guy
Yeah.
um to direct it, but it's written, produced by Tarantino. It's a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I liked. I didn't
Yep.
love, um, but Cliff Booth was the best part of that movie. I mean, Tarantino's fantastic. He looks sick driving around in it.
Yeah.
I wish some of the of I wish some more of that original cast were coming back because I really
Stacked cast.
it was an
A
unbelievably
sneaky
stacked
stack.
cast.
Especially for the time, nobody
Yeah,
realized it.
Tarantino, all the people on that ranch that were just no names at the time and now
Yeah,
Oscar winners.
Margot
Yeah.
Robbie was Sharon Tate, but then we had Margaret Qualley, Austin Butler, Dakota Fanning,
Sydney Sweeney is in it, I think.
Mikey Madison was in it, Sydney
Yeah.
Sweeney was in it, Maya Hawke was in it.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it was
Ridiculous.
incredible.
Shout out to Tarantino, man. He found
Dude,
them diamonds in the rough.
So just
Tarantino has a
randomly
lot
hates
of
Bruce Lee though.
yes, yeah, a lot of those weird stuff there, but I'm really excited for the Adventures of Cliff Booth.
Very.
I think I think Pitt's going to knock it out of the park. I think Tarantino has written a very good sequel that he's just being a baby about not wanting to direct, and I think David Fincher is going to see his vision through. So I'm feeling really good about my board
Yeah,
with the Odyssey,
those are
Digger,
good.
and Cliff Booth here.
That's a
Walker, I
phenomenal.
need you to pick something for me before I do. I just need you to.
So there's two that are really on my board that I'm excited about. I'm gonna pick the one I think you might pick before me, and
Yeah.
it's a movie, and I'm gonna pick Clayface.
That was the one that was the third one out of my three.
Yes. Clayface. So if we still don't know much about this movie, but if they do like the golden era Clayface, where you can go either two routes. You can go golden era where he's a serial killer and uses masks and stuff like that, like to shapeshift basically and, be a serial killer. You could go that route. Or are you going to go the route from like the Batman the animated series and he's like uses stuff to mess with his face and does that type of route? Either way,
I think it'll be that.
if it's a
I think
horror,
that's what it's gonna.
if
I think
it,
it's gonna be like
yeah,
yeah, like the substance.
if it is that and you add true like horror, like scary elements to it, man, like it can be phenomenal, man. And I'm really excited about this. I think we both talked about like how like in the Batman 2 we wanted maybe Clayface would have been a pretty cool villain for it to be, but I do like including it in the DCU because it's such a weird villain. And if done correctly, this can be the movie that sneaks up on everyone this year and goes, "Dang, have you seen that?" Like it can be Weapons from this past year of like everyone really loves this movie that came out of nowhere. Hey, have you seen this? And you need to go see it. And I think this is what that movie can be this year. So,
This is the swing. This is the DC swing right here. Like
yeah,
this is James Gunn has been, praised for his style. He's
yeah.
also been heavily criticized for his style and what his first few projects of this new universe.
This is the
Um,
total different one. It
and
has to be.
even including a movie like Supergirl, he's not the director, he's not the writer, but still there's the similar vibes to Guardians just because of the subject material, and then people are seeing all this the same vibe, and people are like, oh man, James Gunn only can do one thing, and the fact that this is a movie written by just an elite horror director and directed by another elite horror director.
Yeah.
I think what James Watkins is directing it. Who's
And Mike Flanagan's
writing
writing
it?
it.
Yeah, Flanagan's writing and Watkins is directing. It's like I'm not a big horror guy. I just remember watching a little bit of I think Haunting of Bly Manor, and I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
which one is that? That's Flanagan, right?
Yes, Flanagan. So
It
Mike
was very
Flanagan.
interesting writing on that.
So I'm
Um,
a horror guy through and through. Y'all know this. His stuff of Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass, and Haunting of Bly Manor, and even The Fall of House of Usher are all really, really good horror things. Like tip top, not just like good horror, like scary and jump scares and stuff like that. It is creepy, very well done. There is also like the story and the writing with it is some of the best work in Hollywood. Like that's what makes Mike Flanagan so good, and that's why I'm so excited for this.
yeah, just to kind of bring it back, like this is this is James Gunn. Like as a producer, this is a
Yeah,
movie where you show everybody we didn't have to make this. Like we didn't have to make this movie,
but we did.
but the script was so good and I trusted it. And this director that's coming in is so good and I trusted him that we're going to do this. And it's not the sexy, oh, we're not doing another Batman movie this year. We're not doing, the Flash again. We're not doing any of these big name characters. We're doing a small little movie. It's probably not going to be that expensive about just a Batman villain. Probably no Batman,
No.
which hopefully they learned from the Spawn, the epic Morbius universe. But it'll be interesting. I think it's an interesting pick.
Yep. All right, Zach, back to back.
All right, you kind of forced my hand here. So my first pick is going to be something that I don't think any of you have thought about today in regards to this, but I'm going to throw it out there. It's kind of a change up. What's this? My third pick.
Yeah.
Third pick. I don't remember what the title was supposed to be. The new Baby Keem album. I'm pretty excited for this. It's been quite a long time since he last dropped one, and I don't know why it's taken so long for a new
So
one.
true. He has two phones. How does he not get on
He
the
has
phone?
two phones, and he doesn't know who to trust.
He doesn't.
And he needs to trust himself because he's made some pretty damn good music. Apparently, when he was 7 years old, he wrote for Kendrick Lamar. Didn't know this, but thank you, Drake, for letting us know about that. That's pretty cool. But I just, Baby Keem, interesting artist. Obviously, he's kind of got that Nepo tie to Kendrick Lamar. But it's just fun music. And
Yeah.
and the last album he did was pretty interesting and unique compared to other like hip hop stuff that I've heard. So especially lately. So it's an interesting one. That was my I was gonna save this for later, but I really didn't. I needed to space out what this and then what my next pick is gonna be because I didn't
Very.
want to be like Marvel, 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 Marvel
Yeah.
because I that's not how I'm thinking, especially like after everything lately. But it's a segue. I don't know if any of you have comments on that last pick
I mean,
before I go
I,
to the next one.
I love Baby Keem. He's a phenomenal artist. I agree that we've waited too long for him to release music. I just hope it's not a whatever the thing of like it's a lie. That's all I hope. So,
See, we don't. He's only dropped like two albums or three
ye
albums, so we don't
t-
really know
yeah.
like if he's gonna go like Playboy Cardi with this or Kanye with this. or if he's just gonna drop it and it's gonna be,
I need 18 good songs. Like I need excellent songs from BB.
18 good songs.
18 is a lot. You
I
can
got
tell this guy's a
There may
J.
not be
Cole
18
fan.
songs on the album.
I got 24 from Cole, and I'm happy with that. So we don't
Yeah,
have to talk
24 is way
anymore.
too many.
Lord. Anyways, move
Anyway.
on to your next pick.
Yeah, so if you'd asked me 2 years ago,
Yeah.
what my most anticipated show in the future coming up would be, I
Yep.
would have told you that the revival of Marvel's Daredevil would be it.
It's on my list.
Daredevil Born Again season one was fine.
Yeah.
There were some moments that you could really tell, like, we're back. And then there's also moments where you can really tell that this is not the vision of a single creative team, and it's more of an amalgamation of what they were trying to do, and then something happened, so they had to redo it, but they still had some good stuff that they wanted to keep. And it's kind of interesting because there was a lot of like stuff, like I looked into it before they like redid it. There's a lot of really interesting stuff that they kept, where it's like the White Tiger stuff was all from the original like crew, and I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
But man, that finale, uh, just really showing like this is a finale that is made by this new people that they brought in. I think it's Dario Scartapane or something like that, who
Mhm.
is the showrunner now, fully show running. It's not like he's having to do this weird pastiche with the last one. Uh, it's going to be pretty crowded, I feel like, and it's going to be weird because it's in the MCU now. It's not the Netflix show,
Yeah.
but it's just when you get casting so perfect for your two leads, and then you have these, little side characters that start coming up, and it just feels so familiar. And part of the show is a lot of borrowed trust with the original, but now that you're actually leaning into fully that, like, that all happened. That's part of this. If
Yep.
you love that show, we're making this because you love that show.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that final episode of season one was really exciting to see. I mean, I cannot believe that the Kingpin exploded some guy's head.
Yeah.
I haven't watched yet.
Well, that happens and it's unbelievable. I thought they were going to cut away. I thought
Nope.
they were going to imply that it happened and cut away. They show the whole thing. I lost my mind. I
Yeah.
cannot believe that happened. And it's
I
just,
still have vivid memories from the Netflix show of him slamming the guy's head in the door. That brought me back of like, okay, we're here. Like we're to that
yeah.
level.
Now, I'm not super thrilled about the concept of like this, like, basically revolution, this vigilante revolution. I think it's a little too big a scale for
Yeah.
what I like my Daredevil stuff to be. But at the same time, I do see like the commentary that it's trying to do, like, socially, like in like today's
Yeah.
age with his little task force, and all the vigilantes coming out of the woods to start helping and come together. I think that's interesting. Uh, yeah, it's just something where I'm pretty excited for it.
Jessica
Probably not as
Jones.
excited as I could have been a couple years ago, but and then my final thing to add about it is the late great James Gandolfini's son, Michael
Yes.
Gandolfini, is in this show as a really funny little suck up character, and I like that quite a bit
I love that.
because
And
I miss seeing James Gandolfini, and it's nice to see his son doing good.
I agree. Also, Jessica Jones is back, which I'm very, very happy about. Jessica Jones season one on Netflix is one of the best seasons of television. Go watch if you haven't watched. I really love that show. Moving on to mine. And all right, I'm
We
gonna
got to
stay with
start moving. I got a hard out at 10:30.
okay. All right. I'm gonna do another Marvel. I'm doing X-Men 97 season two. That comes out this
Oh,
season.
Oh, it's a good one.
And
that is a
I
good one.
I know there's a new showrunner, but I mean season one was just so unbelievably good.
It was incredible.
It can't be
That
bad.
that is a season of TV that I threw on because I was like, I don't have anything else going on. I watched the first three episodes. I was like, whoa,
Yep.
they're doing this.
I
Yep.
put it on it was literally my Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes.
And I was like, this is
Incredible.
It's incredible.
That first
It's what
episode gets you hooked like that. And the
it's what
mag
cartoons should be.
and the
Yes.
Magneto,
Yeah,
like
we've
I can't
completely.
I can't
We've
feel
lost
you
the
no
plot.
more. I can't feel you no more by Rogue is one of the best lines
Oh my
in the
gosh.
decade so far. It made me tear up like nobody's business,
I watched that episode at like 1:30 a.m. I didn't
as
like
you
I turned
should.
the episode on being like, "Oh, this is a light little fun thing to watch before I went to bed." And it's like the biggest like
Yeah,
insane thing I've seen in a cartoon in a while.
we had
Wait a
elite
second, I
cart
just thought of
yeah,
something.
we had elite cartoons grow up. That's gonna be hopefully kids understand like you're watching peak when you watch that. All right, Peyton, back to back for you.
Okay, so my first one, I don't think either of you watched this.
Okay.
My favorite show on television, I have seen every season, and this is the year Survivor season 50.
Oh Lord.
In the hands of the fans, Aubrey's back, Charlie's back, Rick Devens is back. All these names that you guys don't know: Colby, Suri, Joe, Stephanie, Jenna from season one. Guys,
Shout out Jenna.
Jenna Lewis
Shout
is
out Jenna.
back. Rizzo, Coach, Mike White, the showrunner, by the
Oh,
way, the writer
White
of
Lotus.
yeah.
White
I
Lotus.
know. I'm familiar with this.
He was on David versus Goliath one of the seasons. He's back. Um, it's going to be huge. There is a very, very decent possibility that it's bad. Um, Jeff Jeff Probst and the producers um, are bringing in some interesting characters. Mr. Beast makes an appearance. We know this.
Oh
We
Lord.
know that uh, we know that there are some other potential late night hosts. Jimmy Fallon is making some kind of an appearance. I'm not really excited about that, but as far as the gameplay is concerned, I'm very, very excited. The characters that show up are going to be fantastic. Um,
Just
and I'm
unbelievable. We should have known this. I know you're
Yeah,
a
I didn't
Survivor
think about
guy.
that. But
um,
it's a banger choice. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited. So, my last pick, I'm gonna go something that is not really not necessarily for me. I think that I'm going to like it.
Yep.
Like I have the others. Harry Styles is releasing an album this year.
Wow.
That's fair,
Yeah.
His
honestly.
last two albums, Fine Line and Harry's House, have been
They
the
have good
albums.
songs.
They've been
Good
the
song.
albums of the summer. Fine Line, one of the biggest albums of the past decade. Um, and I think that I think it's like it's disco themed, which is kind of the way that Sabrina Carpenter has started to go with her album. There were
Mm,
some disco themes in there. That's kind of how, I don't know, weirdly music has been kind of disco-y recently.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a good pick.
the uh what are they called? Silk Sonic.
Yeah.
A lot of good disco stuff recently. So I think Harry's going to knock it out of the park. I think on there will be the song of the summer, and I think it's going to be something that we are just destroyed by all year,
right.
and we hear at every sporting event and every restaurant and shopping center in America. So I'm interested and excited to see how that goes.
Fair enough.
Welcome back, Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As we keep moving on, I'll keep moving. My pick is
This is
I'm
your
gonna
final pick, by the way.
yes. I think there's a lot of great ones out there, but as you know, I'm a big monster guy. And one giant lizard in particular. And his name is Godzilla. And the sequel to Godzilla Minus One comes out in 2026 this year. And for me, I am so excited, and I have to pick it. Godzilla Minus One was a one that I was kind of like, okay, like I try to go to the theaters and see it, but sometimes I don't. And I'm lucky, I think that was one that I came back to see in theaters when it got re-released because of how successful it was, and it was incredible in theaters. And I was so glad to watch it. Would recommend to anyone who hasn't seen it, definitely watch in Japanese. And it was just incredible. And they're doing another one this year. I'm very excited about it. I'm just very it's going to be incredible, and I can't not pick Godzilla minus zero. I have found in myself that I love giant monsters fighting things. It's just it's a passion of mine. I finally found my fourth for my four favorites, and that's Pacific Rim because it is literally Guillermo del Toro. It's like when you're a kid and you have like action figures and you go like this against each other. That's literally what that movie is on the big screen. And how can you not like that? Like one of them uses a giant freighter as a baseball bat and hits a monster with it. Like it's an incredible movie. So Godzilla minus zero has to be mine.
All right. Before I give my last picks, do we want to do some honorable mentions?
Absolutely.
I I'm gonna
Well,
say
I don't know what your final pick's going to be.
Yeah.
okay. So we're gonna start this, and I'm gonna give my honorable mention, and you're gonna have to guess and just not pick what I pick. Okay. I'm gonna give my first honorable mention
Okay.
to House of the Dragon season three. Obviously, we talked
Yeah.
about it earlier.
Yep.
It's gonna be a big, it should be a big payoff to a lot of setup in the previous one. Hopefully, this is a great year for Game of Thrones, just an intellectual property.
I agree.
Walker, what's your honorable mention?
Oh, sorry. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. I will do.
I got a few.
Yeah, I got a few too.
Well,
Um,
do you just want to give your pick and then we
yeah,
do
you
honorable
do your
mentions
pick and then
after?
we'll
No,
do
no,
honorable.
no, 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 no. This is way funnier if you guess something and I have to scream at you because it's my pick.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
I forgot that. So my pick, to give you a hint, I'm really excited about this, and I forgot that it was coming out this year. All right.
Okay. I mean for me, um I'll do Supergirl for me because Supergirl it's based off a comic that I really really loved that I read last year that was phenomenal. I don't know how much they're going to take from it. It seems like they will take a lot from it, but if they could just do it word for word, it'd be phenomenal. But I don't think it will. But I think it's going to be a really, really good movie. Shout out Millie Acock. There's a lot of people that are like, I don't know. Go watch House of the Dragon season one and tell me she can't act and be in this role of what it's supposed to be. Anyways, Payne, what's your honorable mention?
Um, so I'm gonna run through a few of them.
Okay, all right.
Careful.
So I've got Social Reckoning.
Okay.
Um, I think it's gonna be a good sequel. New Noah Khan album's coming out. I think that's gonna be
Ooh,
fun.
that's a good one.
Yeah. There's a new Hunger Games.
That was gonna
Uh,
be mine.
Devil Wears Prada 2.
That was gonna be mine. Yeah.
The
Uh,
Dog Stars, I think, will be fun. Bully is dropping. Um, Toy Story 5.
yes.
I'm
Michael,
glad I
live action.
double checked this. My pick was about to be really wrong, but I double checked it. It is
Okay.
coming out this year. I was gonna have the wrong number.
Going to mine, just since we're just naming them now. Um, no, Payne. I'm saying this is on him, not you. I'm excited about Ted Lasso season four. I'm a
That
Ted
was on my
Lasso
Ted,
list
guy.
too.
I think it's gonna be good. Project Hail Mary comes out in a couple months. Very
ooh,
I
excited.
that's a
don't
good
think
one. I
that's
forgot
I
about that.
don't
I
think
am
that's
excited
going
about
to be
that.
good.
I didn't think it was getting good, but everyone says it's by the guy who wrote The Martian, so
Yeah.
it has to be good. Um,
I was going to have this movie on my list, but I've learned something in the past few days that makes me think otherwise.
okay.
Minions 3.
Yes. How dare they get
You're
rid
not
of
rocking
me?
with monsters.
No, they're not doing the three main minions.
Oh
Bob,
yeah.
Kevin, and the other one that's not as good as the him.
But they're going to Hollywood. That's really interesting. That's kind of fun. They summoned Cthulhu. That's
That
pretty
is
cool.
that is pretty
Okay,
cool.
Cartman did that. That's I don't care. I've seen it.
But they
I
say Bello.
do we think the kids on TikTok are gonna revive this as they did the other Minions movie?
I don't think so. It's not gonna be the same thing. I think they'll do
I
something
agree.
weird. But all right,
Other
let's just
other
throw out
me
all the ceremony. My
other
final pick.
okay.
My final pick is Invincible season four.
Oh yeah.
I love this show.
I
I
thought there was
think
only
the first season is perfect. I think the second season left some things to be desired. And I think season three really, really went crazy at the end. Like it was one of those where it kind of eased you in. And then the last, I think 3 or 4 episodes of Invincible season three were just boom, boom, boom. And then all of a sudden you see all this insane stuff going on. So I think the things that they've introduced to close that season, leading into the next one. This show's coming out yearly now. Thankfully,
I
we're
thought there
getting
was only
shows
three
out.
books,
I don't know. I feel like there's a
and
I don't know.
they were going exactly by the book.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff because people say that this is the people call Invincible the white person's Dragon Ball.
Okay.
They call it White Dragon Ball, so I'm pretty sure there's a lot going on. But
That's fair.
basically, everything I've seen, they're introducing a new Viltrumite guy that's played by Lee Pace, and he looks like Freddie Mercury, and apparently he's the worst one, which
So
they've said that
Zach,
every year.
Zach, your list is four superhero projects and Baby Keaton's album.
Yeah, you put me in a bad spot, really. I'm trying to be honest, and I'm also trying to be right.
Yeah.
Um,
To be
and I
fair,
think I'm going to be
Walker
right.
has three
Yeah.
superhero things, and then also Godzilla and Dune, which are superhero adjacent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not wrong.
I mean, you picked Survivor.
That's a good point.
After I picked the Odyssey Digger and Adventures of Cliff Booth, I don't have any superhero stuff.
Yeah.
Odyssey is kind of
pretentious film
superhero. I don't
boy.
know.
That's
Anyways,
fair.
also on my list.
Yeah. I was about to say season five. I was going to be really wrong because,
Um,
Mm.
yeah.
Also, the last two things I have on my list is Michael, which might actually get me to go watch a biopic,
mm.
uh, and the new season of Love Island. Last season was crazy. Social media was all over it. I think this could be a big one.
I know a guy on
Going
Love
back,
Island.
Really?
what?
Yeah, I gave him an award for TXPS back in the day.
Wow, that's
He got
awesome.
eliminated really quickly last season, but shout out to JD.
Also, The Boys is ending this year.
Yeah,
That's it.
is that on
That's
your
also
honorable
that was on
mentions?
my list.
I'm putting them all down.
Yeah.
I also had Ted season two.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
excited about that. I
yes.
watched the entire first season only on TikTok, so I'm pretty
It was
excited.
What?
I watched it in like one day. I just binged it all. It was great.
Yeah,
Nope, I watched it completely out of order, different clips, different days because I was
The
scrolling
right way to
TikTok. I don't
watch
have
it.
TikTok anymore, so I should probably watch it for real. But
that's fair. All right, my four honorable mentions because Peyton did one, two, three, four, five, six, seven total. I did my other four will be Disclosure Day, the new Steven Spielberg movie.
Yep.
I
good
think
one.
that's gonna be phenomenal with Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt. I'm gonna do Super Mario. It's Super Mario Galaxy. Rosalina's in it. I think it's gonna be awesome. The first one was pretty good. Yeah. Well, how can you not do it? I am uh Ready or Not two. I'm low key kind of excited for actually. I really liked the first one. It was a great horror movie. Honestly, I thought it was pretty perfect ending. It didn't need a second one, but there is, and it is what it is. And finally, my last one is I think it comes out this year, is the Avatar: The Last Airbender animated movie that's supposed to come out in
Oh, that's true.
theaters. And I don't know if it's ever going to be released. We know nothing about it, but it supposedly comes out in 2026. And I'm so excited for that because it's back to the guys who really made the show back in the day. They're coming back to actually direct this, and I'm very excited for it.
One last one, Cat in the Hat's coming out this year.
I think that's a great way to end it. Right at 10:30 for Peyton Reed. Uh, this is an episode that will be released. I promise the people and the public this will be released. I have a little bit.
Ooh, we have a secret first episode that's never gonna go out.
It will never go out, but it is there. This is technically 1.5 if you want to count it that way, but it is the episode one of the what is this called? The honey. Uh,
I'm gonna wait for you to figure it out.
what is it? The honey wagon. This
The
is
Honey Web.
the honey
You
wagon.
definitely said honeypot earlier.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
Walker did.
he
I
did.
probably did. We're well, I'll get, I have to get it trained in my mind and we'll be good at the next episode. Thank you
Yeah,
for
and then we'll
joining
sell a
us.
bunch of shirts and
Oh yeah.
coins.
Like and
Our
subscribe.
our fans are called stalls.
I like it. Follow wherever your podcasts are. I have to figure all that out, but it will be released on Spotify at least, YouTube as well. Very excited about the future of this. This has been awesome. Thank you for your time. He has been Zach. He has been Peyton. I have been Walker Lot. Thank you and good night.